The Doorstep Crime team was set up in 2009 and it consists of trading standards officers and police officers. It's fairly unique in that the trading standards officers are embedded with the police and trading standards officers have access to all police systems for intelligence and that sort of thing. The Doorstep Crime team have shown how effective joint working between police and trading standards can be.
While the team is successful, they face challenges from rogues on their turf. Detective Sergeant Will Thorpe knows all their rotten tricks.
There are several cases ongoing at the moment. One particular method that's being used is in relation to roofing work. What happens in particular cases is that the person coming to the door will say that a small amount of work needs being done, you know, a downpipe or a section of guttering. Once that person is there on the roof then doing some further work, the victim isn't able to see exactly what the state of their roof is or whether that work is necessary. And then once one bit of work gets done, from there on in, it's quite easy to carry on telling the homeowner that they require further bits of work.
Roofing scams tend to be the most common and the most lucrative for rogues.
Now, statistics show that only 10% of this sort of crime is reported, and we can't do anything about it unless people tell us about it.
So there you have it, the message is very clear. If you fall victim to doorstep crime, for goodness sake, report it. 76-year-old Bridget Davidson is glad she raised the alarm back in 2010.
At the time, I was rather vulnerable because my husband had only died a couple of months before. And it was very upsetting, as you could imagine. And so, obviously, I wasn't functioning on all cylinders.
In this vulnerable state, Bridget was all too susceptible to a smooth-talking con man.
I was just coming back from shopping, and I noticed a van parked outside my house, and there was a man standing on the end of the drive. So as I approached, he said, could he speak to me for a minute? And would I like my guttering renewed? So he quoted me about £300, which I thought was a reasonable amount. So I agreed to have it done.
The early stages of this particular scam followed a fairly standard MO for rogue trading offences. As the work was started, the boss of the contractors came to the victim and said that she then needed her roof cleaned.
With the roof washed, the con man then offered a sealant for Bridget's roof tiles. He told her that this was essential to the protection of the building. He did not, by the way, quote a price.
This man saw a vulnerable woman on her own, who obviously, I imagine, came across as not really thinking straight, and thought, bingo, I can probably talk her into anything.
Thankfully, the family became aware of what was going on. They rang the police and the Doorstep Crime team swung into action.
They came the following day and were absolutely brilliant, because the thing that had stopped Mum initially telling me was that she felt stupid. And the one thing the team didn't do at any time was make her feel stupid.
Will Thorpe and his team believe that it's essential to show sensitivity to the victims.
The impact on the victims is huge. The financial implications of losing their life savings for work that's not required. And also what we find is the embarrassment that they feel that they've been taken on a ride, and they just feel hugely shamed of doing that.
Later we find out how the Doorstep Crime team came to Bridget's rescue. Plus, a watchful neighbour keeps an eye out for a Midlands pensioner who lost more than 20 grand to doorstep crooks.
If you're the neighbour of someone who is vulnerable, keep checking. Check that they're okay, check that no one has done anything of this sort.